so give it up for Nikki Reed! First time in Salt Lake?
In Salt Lake? No. No, I love Utah. Yeah, I'm here, I wouldn't say often, but I'm here a bit.
What's your favorite place to visit around Salt Lake area?
Ooh, so I don't go out very much, so you guys should give me some recommendations, but I mostly do horsey things around these parts, so I've got some horse trainers I work with, and yeah, I spend a lot of time here for that.
What is your favorite part of horse riding?
Oh, well, we could spend the whole hour talking about that.
You guys are cool with that. We don't have any questions.
Does anyone else ride horses? Yeah, we have some horse people here, okay. Everything, I mean, not to get too deep at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's the most rewarding dynamic is to have a relationship like that with an animal. I would say it's really special. It's a meditation of sorts.
It is so peaceful to go ride on a horse, especially when you're away from everybody, away from everything, and you're just with the horse. It's really peaceful and really fun. So if you haven't gone horse riding, you should check it out.
There you go. I hear that there's puppies today. Have you guys seen the puppies? No, there's some downstairs. Somebody told me that.
It's for the celebrities.
What?
It's only for celebrities.
Oh. Well, that's a mistake. I'll bring puppies up here.
Well, obviously, is there any Twilight fans in the room?
You guys heard about the movie? I saw it once too.
Twilight is coming up on a very big milestone.
You just told me that.
The book came out 20 years ago on October 5th, so like a week and a half. It will be 20 years old. I was not old enough to read that. No, it's fine. Neither were you. We were not old enough for this.
Oh no, I was old enough. Guys, I'm old.
Don't say that.
Okay, fine. We're both very young.
We're very young. We're very hip, very young. But what's it like for you to be part of a franchise that is now 20 years later and still people are talking about it, still watching it, still reading it?
Well, the power of those books lives so far beyond, what we did just with the films, right? It's books live with you forever. I mean, I guess films do too, but it's so special to see something that doesn't really have a date or a timestamp. They're very timeless. Not only that, by the way, I did a film called 13, which I don't know if you've seen that one, but a long time ago, a very long time ago. And I still have people come up to talk about the impact that film had on their upbringing, and I'm like, wow, it really does stay with you. So I think it's incredible. I mean, 20 years, I have no idea how long it will continue to, go on or evolve. I've heard whispers of maybe Stephenie working on something else. I don't know, maybe you guys probably know more than I do, to be honest. But it might just keep going.
I mean, Stephenie, within the last week or so, had an interview come out that she said she does have outlines from many other books in the Twilight world.
There you go.
Who is
there one on Rose? Just curious.
That's what I want.
Give me the scoop.
What part of Rose's life would you most want to see explored?
Well, there was so much we didn't get to explore in the films that does live in the books that I think it would, just seeing her backstory in the third film like we got to see was really special because I think it humanized her in a way that she really deserved. Sorry, there's a whole, everyone's over here too. I love that character, and I think she really deserved to have that part of her story told. And it was also interesting, by the way, to see the evolution of as the books were read, but the films came out as they did. The compassion that people felt for Rosalie once they understood her story changed the dynamic even within the fandom in a way that was really tangible, just the conversations that I would have with people about Rose. It was very black and white in the beginning, and then there was a whole gray area that was opened up as you got to know who she was. So I would love to see her as a mom. I'd love to see her relationship with Renesmee. I'd love to see probably all the same things you guys would want to see.
There's one thing that I saw online of people wanting to see that I love, and it's Rose and Emmett, the college years.
If Kelly were here, we would have a lot to say about that.
You know we got this in trouble, so that would be really entertaining to see.
Yes, I agree. More of them would be nice.
Yes.
They were very cute in the books, and we didn't get to do a lot of that, so.
Exactly.
I know.
There's
only so much time, that's why, yeah.
So much gets lost.
Yeah.
Did you read the books before you filmed?
Let's see. Let's give an honest answer. Let's think about this. I read the first book before we shot the first film, and then during the filming of Twilight, I read New Moon and Eclipse, but I don't think Breaking Dawn was out yet. Am I wrong about that? Is that right? Did it come out? That's correct, right? Because I remember reading that
It was like
later.
around.
It's been a long time, guys. It's been 20 years apparently.
It came out 17 years ago.
But I was a fan, like a genuine fan of the books and of the characters. And I remember actually on set, we were shooting Twilight, and Edward leaves in New Moon, right? Is that when he leaves? Yeah. So this is right. So I remember filming Twilight and reading New Moon and feeling so, just like any other, person reading the book, feeling so gutted that Edward had disappeared in that time. And then that was the moment that I realized, oh, I see, I get it. I get what these books are. I get why they're so special. I get why people, are living and breathing the storylines of these characters, because I totally was too. I was a fan,
Did that help your portrayal of Rose? So not knowing all of the things that were going to happen and learn about her toward the end, so you're starting out with her being very black and white, and then you're learning about her as you're portraying her as well.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about trying to play a character that had decades and decades of wisdom when I was only 19 myself, I look back and realize there's so much I could have done differently had I had the wisdom and perspective that only comes with time on this planet, So, yeah, yes, there are things that I loved about Rose that I wish I could have shown in a more, her tenderness. She's actually a very tender person, but a lot of that was hardened and covered by experience, which, you get to my age now, and you understand that, you understand why, life and life experiences give all these layers to a human being. But anyway, I just look back and think, gosh, it would have been nice to look 20, vampires do, and not age, but have the wisdom of time under my belt to play that character.
Rose has been through so much, and characters that you played in projects prior to her also have been through a lot of trauma. Did those characters help you portray her better?
Yeah, I definitely don't pick light characters, do I? Yeah, very complex.
Not even in music videos.
What music? Oh boy, turn those cards around. You've seen too many things.
I've been down a deep rabbit hole.
You're remembering things I don't even remember. Yeah, I think I've always been drawn to really complex characters. I think I maybe find it, challenging, interesting. What's funny is that when I would meet or interact with anyone, at different events for Twilight over the years, people would say things to me that didn't really resonate until I got it. Well, hi, buddy. They would go, oh my gosh, you smile, and you forget that if a character doesn't smile, people don't think you smile, because you're so deeply, deeply associated with the characters that you play, and while that's beautiful, and I guess in some ways, that's your hope, right, as an actor, to portray that in a very realistic way. It's also very interesting to see the inability to disassociate you from that character. And so, if I could go back and maybe do things differently, maybe Alice, a character that I should have considered exploring too. Yeah, I definitely gravitate towards complex characters.
I mean, at least It's not as bad as like Joffrey from Game of Thrones, where he like had to quit acting because people were so like, this is you.
Oh,
And
I'm so terrible, but I haven't seen it, but don't quote me on that. Don't put that out there because I don't ever, but I haven't, I'm the worst, right?
No, there's so much TV and movies and stuff.
No, but that's one of the best. I'm ashamed.
No, don't be ashamed.
And
It's not for everyone.
it's probably, I probably would love it. I just don't have the time.
This is
to watch
true.
TV.
You're very busy.
I haven't watched TV in like probably like 2 decades.
Yeah.
Like it's been,
I've watched
maybe
way too
that's
much.
ever. But whatever he had to do that you were just saying, I totally believe, because it is really hard to be, you know, you're sort of out there going like, yeah, okay, I do smile, or whatever it is.
What part of yourself is reflected most in Rose?
Oh, that's a sweet question. She is fiercely loyal and protective of the things that feel most sacred to her, and I think that is an area that I very much relate to.
One beautiful thing from Twilight is that you guys are still friends and doing conventions now.
Those
many
guys!
years. Yeah, those guys.
I love them. They do a lot of conventions together, so they get to spend a lot of time with each other, and I'm so happy that this last year I've been able to be in that circle. They would send me videos and I would, but it's been so nice to actually be like in the same space together. I love them all so much.
What's it like for you to have these relationships that have lasted almost 2 decades now and still be that close with your castmates?
Well, we've had, you know, moments where like everyone's gone off and done things and, you know, maybe we haven't spoken for months and months at a time or 6 months or something like that. But what's so nice is that when you grow up with people and have these experiences that are, you know, these are big life experiences. Like, oh, sorry. These are really big moments in life, and it bonds you, you know? So I think we have that in a way that's like, it's irreplaceable. But isn't it cool that we all have actually gone through different chapters, but now sort of ended up in the same place? Like, Kellen just, you know, Ash just had a baby, Kellen had a baby, 2 babies, you know, he just had a baby. It's just so sweet to see, yeah, it's
watching them, like I got to hang out with them in August in Chicago, and watching them interact with fans is so cool. Watching them interact with each other.
Aww.
Like their tables are next to each other and they're just like goofing off and photobombing each other.
Were you
like,
only with the boys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just the 2 of them that were there. Jackson and
Yeah, major goofball, yeah.
Such a goofball. It was
Yeah.
so fun watching
Yeah.
them. But to see how you guys are still interacting with each other and loving on each other like
Love.
15, 20 years later is so special, and you don't often see that. So love to see that.
Yeah, we grew up together.
Yeah, but Jackson was also on the OC, which you were on.
Was he? Oh no.
That's what the internet
so
told me.
terrible. Is that true? Does anyone know?
That's what IMDb says, so it could be wrong.
I like that was the quote. You should see what Wikipedia says. It's a bunch of things that are not even rooted in reality at all. I'm like, cool. That's not real, but
I love reading IMDb's trivia and seeing like and asking people like, is this real?
it's gonna be no. Maybe, but no, yeah. If he was, gosh, he was great on it. He was so good. It's like my favorite character. That's why I did the show. Yeah.
But also with 13, that you mentioned, the movie that you co-wrote with Catherine Hardwicke, who directed Twilight, and Sarah Clark plays a friend's mom, and then
Yes.
she's Bella's mom. So Hollywood is such a small world. What's it like to still get to work with these people in different projects in different capacities?
So Catherine is really, she does something that's very, very cool. Catherine directed 13 and Lords of Dogtown and Twilight, and she was a production designer first. So the job of a production designer is to go and create a world, right? They're designing sets, they're building out a space. Quite literally taking a room that's empty and making it come to life. And I saw so much of that transferred into her ability as a director to take a character and see, like, it might not be the most obvious choice for a character, but she's so connected to that person and she sees how they can sort of morph and mold and become that thing, just like she could see that room morph and mold and become that thing. So Peter and Kellen and Jack, we all laugh about the fact that like none of us could have looked further from our, our characters, right? She picked actors that she felt really embodied the essence of that character, but it didn't really matter what they looked like. And I think it's really awesome to see her work with the same people over and over again, like Sarah Clark, who you're mentioning, who's a phenomenal actress and human. But to see her in both of those roles is very cool.
So if you guys have questions for Nikki, there is a microphone up here in the center, so you can line up, just stay low if it's not your turn so everybody else can still see you. So you feel free to line up and jump in there if you have questions.
Don't be shy, but don't quiz me on like TV or movie trivia, because
But I still have questions, so if you don't come up here, I will just keep talking.
or like my co-stars IMDb.
You also had a song
Hi. How are you?
Soundtrack.
Yes,
So
I
was it like
did.
getting to have your
That was a chapter of life that I did. Music is a very cool, like, therapeutic outlet, and so it was nice to see that come full circle. She was saying that there was a song at the end of the last Twilight film, I think it was in the credits, and it was just nice to like bookend an experience of, you know, just having been a part of something for so long, to see it kind of close in that way. It was very cool. Hi.
Hi.
What's your name and your
What's your
question?
name?
I'm Jasenia.
Hi.
I've been a fan since forever. I watched 13 first before I watched Twilight, actually.
You did?
I did. YouTube was free back then, so I watched 13 on YouTube for free when I was literally 13. So
Wow. You might have been too young to see that film.
I definitely was.
I think now's a good time.
Yeah, I think now is a better time. But I did want to ask, when you were casted as Rosalie, did you take any other, did you take essences of like other vampiric media and transferred it over into Rosalie? Like, what was that like?
So, it's been a long time. Yeah, I think we all had a couple of books and films that Catherine, who directed the first film, sort of turned us on to. Hey guys, it would be great for you to all, you know, watch this. Have any of you seen like Interview with a Vampire, or that, you know, just things, right? But I think what she was most focused on is this like vampire cat class that we did. Have you heard of that? Yeah, this is real. Yeah. So we had choreographers. I hope I don't butcher this. Oh my gosh, I'm shedding like crazy. I hope I don't butcher this. But she put us all in rooms with choreographers we had just met, so it was like a bunch of, you know, kind of strangers in a sense, right? Like, hey, nice to meet you, Nikki, no, Jackson, nice to meet you. And you guys are all gonna move like cats, because cats and vampires, according to Catherine, had similar movements, I guess. So I think the director had like a different approach to how, you know, what we were doing, right? And that was Catherine's, and we laugh about it now, but it was actually a very cool bonding experience, if nothing else. I can't actually tell you if cat movements inspired our vampiric qualities. But we did things like that as a group that were really, really bonding and cool, like fun experiences. And every director had a different approach, not only for our characters, but what we should look like. I'm sure you remember I had 4 different wigs over the course of 5 films. Please,
Rank the wigs.
I know, the wigs. Do you guys remember like what film you thought had the best wigs? We all have thoughts on it too, but what do you think?
I think the Eclipse one is the best.
Me too! Me too! Sometimes I was almost a brunette. I had like apricot hair in one film. I don't know what's happening, but you're sort of at the mercy of like going with the flow in a sense. Like, sure, this is, you know, this director's take on the characters and how they should dress and what they look like, and you only have so much say, but I know. Me too. Yeah, it was a very individualized, like each film had its own individual experience with each director. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite Rosalie moments is in the first movie where Edward is bringing Bella over.
Oh.
And they're making salad for her. And Edward goes, oh, she already ate. and then Rosalie just like breaks the bowl. How did that work? Like what?
Like the mechanics of it?
Yeah.
How did that work? Did I break it in my hands?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. I should have come prepared.
Do you need to go rewatch the film real fast?
Okay, yeah. I hear there's an anniversary coming.
Yes.
So they use like a special material, but only for those scenes, so they don't have like 50 stunt bowls. You hold a real bowl, and then you have like maybe 1 or 2 shots at a close-up, or they have a breakable bowl that's already like scored is the word, pre-scored, in a material that's not going to shatter my hands. Did I have gloves on?
No.
Yes. Someone knows. I think I remember.
gloves.
Yes. I had gloves because I remember it was sharp, actually, so that's what happened.
And then a follow-up question: what was your favorite Rosalie moment to film?
Probably, well, okay, I do have a lot of favorites for different reasons, but it was very, very fun to film the Royce King scene. There was more to that. I don't know if there's DVD, like extra scenes, things that have been attached where I haven't seen all of them, clearly. I'm terrible at this. But we did film more than that. So if it's visible anywhere, I highly recommend to myself to watch it. Relive it together.
Yeah, I'll have to borrow the DVD from my parents again. Thank you.
Thanks. I just realized, did DVDs exist anymore? They do.
I still have the full like special edition set where it's like a photo album.
You do.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, we're not.
And if you need to
aging
rewatch,
ourselves. Yeah.
there is a Twilight Symphony performance this weekend, Sunday night, I believe, where they're showing the movie and all the symphonies playing the score live. So I don't know where. I just
Like
saw
where?
in Salt Lake.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Yes, like incognito.
Like all 5 films?
Just the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really
Not
good.
embarrassed.
They're doing like a tour.
Well, that's why I was like, can you imagine like some movies about like 12
They did do a YouTube marathon where they played all 5 movies on live on
Right, that's
YouTube.
what I was asking if DVDs exist anymore, because I feel like everything's on a computer or a screen.
Yeah, we still sell them in bookstores. So
They're on Netflix.
they're on Netflix.
And Netflix.
When they hit
yes.
Netflix, all of a sudden, all these very small children were coming in looking for the books, and I'm like, what is going on? And they're like, oh, I just saw this on Netflix. And all of a sudden, all these
Their
small
parents
children.
weren't watching what they were scrolling through.
No! All of a sudden, these 13-year-olds are like, this retro book of Twilight. I'm like,
Retro. That's when I just own it. Like, I can't deny it. I just own it. I'm like, yep, this is how old I am, and here we are.
and we have special editions coming out on Tuesday, so if you want a new set, go get a pretty, very pretty new set. But hi, what's your question?
Hi, I'm Whitney.
Hi, Whitney.
I'm a huge fan of your work on the screen, but even more off the screen.
Thank
Your push on sustainability, I think you represent women in such a powerful way. I'm turning 26 this year. I'm just wondering what advice you have for young 20s, especially just through this time right now. How do you always, I guess, sorry, really nervous, but
No.
I think that you just do such a great job as an example towards women. So what advice would you get to a young 20-something in business?
Thank you for
everything?
saying that.
Yeah.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah.
As most of you maybe know, I left that career a long time ago, you know, almost 10 years ago now, 7 years ago, to pave a new path.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty scary to leave the only thing that you've ever known your whole life. You know, I started working when I was 13, 14 years old because I wrote 13. And while that was not my intended path, I sort of fell into that path of being on screen or in front of the camera. And the truth is, that's never been for me, actually. Even sitting here right now, if I'm being really honest, is not for me because I prefer to be behind the camera and creating art, and I leave this part up to people who feel like that is their form of art, you know, and it's all beautiful, right? Like art comes in many forms and careers come in, you know, many forms, but I felt so creatively, I think, inspired and challenged just through like running and operating business and championing certain initiatives that I felt really deeply about, like sustainability. You know, like 10 years ago when I was talking about that No one was talking about that. Yeah, and getting anyone to listen, it was like, oh, do you recycle? Is that what you're talking about, Nick? And I was like, well, kind of. No, it's a little deeper than that. Let's go there together. So thank you for saying that. I think the advice, I'm not really qualified to be an advice giver.
Because we're still so young.
Just to any woman to woman.
Do it all, learn it all, be it all. Don't make yourself smaller to fit into the space, take up the space. With my businesses, I had to learn the hard way that no one is gonna love whatever mission I'm on, whatever company I'm trying to build, whatever thing I'm passionate about. No one's gonna feel the way I feel about that thing. So you have to love it with everything you've got, and you have to believe in yourself. No one's gonna believe in you for you. It's you. And you have to learn every aspect of that business, because no one's gonna care about, the accounting as much as you do, bookkeeping as much as you do, the, perfection in each image, if that's what you're putting out there, if you're exploring photography, for example. No one's going to care about building the product pages. Like, I learned the back end of Shopify, coding and building pages, running QuickBooks. Like, I learned everything myself because I had to learn the hard way. That if you rely on other people to do that, they're never going to do it with the same level of passion that you are, because it's your mission. So do it all. Learn it all, take pride, and don't be afraid to start over, right? Like, I keep semi-joking that I'm old, and maybe I don't even know what's old anymore, but I'm saying, I've lived a couple years on this planet now. And it's never too late to start over. I actually thought just the other day, you know what I might want to do as a career? Which is kind of a funny thing to be thinking at my age, but I've always been really, really passionate about law. And so I was like, why couldn't I start that now? Like, where's the timestamp for that, And if I'm okay with, working 17 hours a day, which that's like a whole other story and, combo for another time, but there's some real lack of balance there for sure. But if I'm okay with pushing myself into late night studying and staying up and, doing all that till 2 o'clock in the morning, then why limit myself to where I am right now? So that would be the message for you as a woman. Don't limit yourself. There's no such thing as a timeline, nothing. You're not too late to do anything or try something new. Be fearless about it, be bold, jump in, feet first, head first, whatever you want to call it, but learn it all and do it all and be it all. You are wonderful.
You would be amazing in our law office.
That was the longest answer ever, by the way. Oh my god.
Hi, my name is Rachel. I was just wondering, did you ever have a moment where you realized that when you were making 13 that this is how I saw it and this is how I wanted it to look?
Do you mean in the finished product of the film?
Was it a moment where you realized this is exactly what I wanted it to be?
Oh, no.
No?
No. No, because I didn't know what I wanted it to be. So how that came about, so I was a kid, right? So it was a series of journal entries, and I grew up without the financial opportunity to go to a private school or have, tutors or anything like that, right? I grew up with a mom who made $16,000 a year raising 2 kids in Los Angeles, so. Anything that I had in the education department came through hard work. And writing was always the thing that I gravitated towards. And it led me to, yes, 13 was a very positive unintended consequence, I guess I would say, but prior to that, any programs I got into was through poetry writing and so with 13, it was a series of journal entries turned into a film by total accident. No structure. Catherine Hardwick handed me a final draft and said, we're going to do this and we're going to turn this into a script. And I sat down, and in 6 days we sat down together and wrote this film. But I didn't have a desire to make a film per se, right? I didn't grow up going to acting classes thinking that I was going to be an actress. And actually, I don't know if I've ever told this story, but I was just a very excited 8th grader, excited to be given the chance to take off school to help other girls audition for those roles. So I was like a unofficial casting associate, because it was hard for other girls to come in and read those lines with adults. So they brought me in to read with those girls, but the plan was not for me to be in the film. It was actually a last-minute decision. I got a call, just a few weeks before, saying, hey, so, we haven't found our Evie. Tracy was the character that was based on me. They said, we haven't found our Evie, and we think that it should maybe be you. And I was like, I'm gonna think about that for a second. So that wasn't part of the plan. So I didn't have a vision for what it would be like, what it should look like as we were making that. It all was, I guess, some kind of like stars aligning and the film happened, but you can't recreate those moments, Like, it had to be that exact time and place for that to happen, and it did. And I would never in a million years be able to do it again, not just because of the stars aligning, but because of the just the consequences of writing something that's semi-autobiographical, what that does to your life, to your family. As you guys probably know, if you follow me at all on social media, I am fiercely protective of privacy and family and small people, and a lot of that is largely due to what happens when you put yourself out there at such a young age and realize that minors, I'm still a minor, shouldn't be subjected to that kind of visibility and, scrutiny, and all of that comes as a consequence of writing something that's semi-autobiographical. So that was a very long-winded way of saying, no, I did not have an idea of what it should look or feel like at the time. I think that film is so beautiful and so powerful and so impactful, and I could never, ever in a million years do it over again, but I'm glad that it happened and that it touched so many people.
Thank you. Lower here.
Thank you. So you mentioned earlier that you wished you would have been able to explore different storylines in the Twilight world. And what the scene I remember very vividly from that time of my life is, of course, the vengeance that Rosalie takes against Royce. Do you think that you've been able to explore that further? Do you think what would have been her healing process? Do you think it's possible to get past that pain that's so deep? How do you heal from something like that?
Oh my. That is a very heavy question, my friend. What's your name? Marisa. Hi, Marisa.
Yeah.
How do you heal from that kind of pain? Well, I think she's unabashedly, no, I love it. Hi. I think she's unabashedly herself. And I think that part of healing from, pain in general, that kind of pain I can't necessarily relate to, but I had to put myself in her shoes quite a bit, right? But I think healing from that requires connection, being able to share your story, which she did and does quite well, which is great. She obviously had some anger to work through, part of it. But I think Rose, I don't know, am I wrong to say that I think she was doing a pretty good job of like working through some of that pain? Maybe? Or maybe we were just witnessing it in the moment. That's a really beautiful thing too, to have the gift of like witnessing someone processing that in the moment and how they do with it. But also there are things that come in externally that can be very healing. Like Renesmee was very healing for her, Gosh, I do really love those movies. I should go back and I really love that character. You guys bring out all these things that I don't think about that are like, really beautiful characters. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for that question.
Hi, cutie. Hi.
She's like,
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
My name is Ashley.
Hi.
And I just had a couple of questions. I know you and Ian are just like the vampire power couple. I'm just curious what it's like, you know, both being vampires and being in the film industry, what that is like, and, you know, did you guys meet because you guys were both vampires and that's how you vibed? And are you guys going to make your kids, like, do a vampire film?
I'm a vampire. Yeah, that definitely did not. But that's a funny scene. I don't know, maybe there's like a, you know, those like Funny or Die scenes, you know, skits. Have you guys ever seen those?
Yeah, right.
Maybe there's like a comedy, moment there.
I totally think you guys need to make a TikTok or something with like your vampire.
You know what? I tried doing that for a second TikTok, and I'm not good at that.
Me neither. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm like a long form kind of gal, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to read, then like follow my page, because it's novels. If you don't want to read, don't come this way. Yeah, sorry about that. It's probably pretty boring for a lot of people, how much I'm writing. So we met through philanthropy.
Oh.
Yeah, and many years we met as friends through philanthropy. Gosh. I don't even know, probably 5 or more years before Twilight was even in the picture. You know, this happens a lot in small industries where people if there's sort of like parallel things happening with work. So, you know, we were, I guess, was Vampire Diaries, it was like a year or two after?
Yeah, it was slightly after.
Yeah. I'm really bad at trivia, as you can tell.
I don't know what time it is.
Yeah, I know, yeah, we don't know. How do you feel about that? So yeah, I think it was after, and there was just a whole like vampire movement happening, you know, like in the zeitgeist. Yeah, like books were coming out, and maybe it's still going on. I don't know.
It's back.
Like another, is it back? Yeah, there was another wave of it.
Maybe,
So it was just a moment in time where there were a lot of vampire things happening, so it was all just sheer coincidence. But no, we met through philanthropy because we had similar philanthropic interests, and for me it was a lot of environment and animals, and I think for him similar, maybe more environment, less animals, but yeah, there were just some, you know, cool crossover moments, and a mutual friend of ours had us talk about philanthropy stuff, and then we stayed friends for a long time.
Oh, that is precious. I love that. Do you think your kids will ever go into the film industry and do like vampire things, you know, keep it in the family?
You know what? I don't talk about my kids at all. I'm sorry.
No,
I know.
that's
It's like, that's just a boundary that I keep. And thank you guys all for honestly just being so awesome and honoring that all the time. Yeah. But thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm so grateful you're here. Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
I'm very nervous.
Don't be nervous. Although you can be, because I get nervous with public speaking too, and me giving a speech is, it's not my forte.
So I left the workforce 21 years ago to raise a family, have 5 kids, raise them all, and then I decided to go back into the workforce 2 months ago.
Wow.
I'm a massage therapist, but I can help people.
Massage therapist?
Massage therapist, so I can help people because we need more connection in the world today. We need more just healthy, natural touch, and there's just such a great thing that people need. And I just am so inspired by you as a woman, empowering women with their own like goals and inspiration. Just small business, like I want to go into business for myself, and I'm just really impressed with your lifestyle and your way with love and your small business, and I'm interested in just like how you came up with that and started that, and just like I just would love your life in terms of just like private, farm, country, natural, like everything. That's like my dream life. So I'm just curious, like if you could share a little bit more about that.
Like how it all came together?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, congratulations, because you've done, that's heroic. Raising 5 kids is heroic, so you are amazing. And also amazing that you're now wanting to like go back and find a new moment that's yours.
Something for me, but also to help heal other people heal. Yeah.
I just want to say I love what you just spoke about like platonic touch. So not so much anymore because I have time, but for a long time I was really into something called acro yoga. Do you know what acro yoga is? Yeah, so I did it actually with my brother. We were like a little duo. And one thing that I learned about that, and I think we need so much more of that, is this ability to like have that kind of platonic play. In the same way that you're talking about, like human beings are meant to have connection, you know, but we're a very, very disconnected world, and I'm so guilty of that too. Like here I am, you know, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. on my computer. We're all living with like blue light computers and our own little, you know, siloed like cubicles of whatever we're doing. And man, it can be so isolating and so lonely. Like I just had this revelation myself about working behind a computer in the way that I do, and how much less I'm seeing, you know, like humans and being outdoors. So let's also break this down. Social media is not real. Okay, I have a lot of people, I mean it is in a sense, but I'm just saying it's not an accurate portrayal of people's lives. So I like to take these moments to also be really open and honest about, like, I have friends that come up to me and go, oh my gosh, I wish I had your life. You sit in bathtubs on a hillside with cows all day. And I'm like, I'd love that life too. That was a moment, and I did do that, and that's beautiful, but that's not what I'm spending my days doing, right? I'm running 2 companies. I'm working at a minimum 10 hours a day, sometimes 12, sometimes 14, and raising little people, and trying my best to run a micro farm in whatever way I can. And life is busy, and there is not a lot of free time to enjoy the things that sometimes, because I'm so fiercely protective of, you know, actual just home life, and I love that, you know, other people are so open about it, but I'm never going to be the kind of person that's like, here's the breakfast I'm making, and here's the, you know, here's like school drop, and here's the, it's just not me. So all that I do share is my art, and that comes in the form of photography and writing and things like that, in the hopes of course, inspiring, which is great. But I just want to be very open and honest that life is so much busier than what it looks like on social media, you know? And I guess what I would say to you, wanting to start your business and doing that, hell yeah. Like, do that. You know, and find that time to, the way that, in my mind at least, something becomes successful is if you work really, really hard and you're really, really passionate about it and you marry that together, that's the definition of success. Because I'll just tell you, my definition of success looks different from probably yours and yours and yours and yours. And like even Ian's, like we have different definitions of success. And to me, I love things small, for example. Like I love small business. I love small business, big impact, I guess we can say. Well, we're like a little team of, you know, with Bayou, we're like a little team of 4, and that is successful to me. You might ask someone else what success feels like, and they might say like global takeover with, you know, like massive scaling and 10,000 employees, and that's success to them, and that's amazing. To me, it's small, but big in mission, big in meaning, big in impact. So whatever success means to you, do that. Find that and do that. But take the thing that you love the most and pour your heart into it with hard work, and you're going to find whatever that level of success is.
Yeah, I'm already successful then because I've been working really hard as a mother and in this new job career, and I'm very passionate about both, so thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we are now out of time. We've actually gone a couple minutes over. I told you time goes fast in here. So if you did not get a chance to ask Nikki a question here, she will be signing at her booth. So come by, ask her questions, get photos, go spend some time with her in lines, and have a great rest of your FanX.